The deep secrets of the Iron Fist training for savage knockout power. Young Grasshopper, welcome back. Now, you want to know the secrets of the one punch knockout. Whoop! The other day, I was training a guy of mine's. We were working some pad stuff. I haven't trained him in a while. Normally, we'll meet together once a week for some, he takes personal trainings from me. Now, we took a little break, and within that break, I really been doubling down on my Iron Fist training. I've been doing it for a while. I just haven't introduced it to him. Now, this guy is a lifelong friend of mine. He's like a brother. I met him when I was fighting mixed martial arts. He came, he was one of my teammates, and he was a multi-promotion champion at 135. He had multiple belts. Bad dude. He's bad. We've been in many wars. He's prepared me for many of my fights. I've prepared him for many of his fights, and you know, he always came out with the belts, man. We were good, but in order to be good, we really had to put it on each other. So we were teammates way back when we were fighting, when we were younger adults. You know, I moved on, he moved on. Soon after, I opened my fitness gym. He became one of my clients for like 4 years. Every day for 4 years, he trained under me. Mind you, it was a strength and conditioning fitness gym. We would do like jiu-jitsu, hitting mitts on the side. Still at my gym, but on the side. When he came to me, we just focused mainly on just conditioning and strengthening the body. Then once I closed that down, took a little break, got into personal training, and here we are. So we do a lot of fight stuff now just to keep the cardio up. We're in our 30s, and it's extremely good to have some bit of muscle, but to be in fighting shape at this age, it's rare to see guys my age. I mean, it's not rare, but you know, amongst peers, especially his peers, you know, he's in shape for his age. And we were doing mitt work, and I was like, okay, we gotta work some barehanded stuff. He's like, yeah, I know, I've been seeing it. So we were hitting mitts, we were doing some power shots, and on the first combinations, so we were throwing 5 hooks. He has 1 mitt, I have 1 mitt, and we're doing it barehanded. So he's holding one side, he's gonna do left, I'm gonna do right. So I'm holding the mitt, he's doing left hooks, boom, boom, boom. And I mean, my homie can hit with some power. So I was like, I remember the power, you know. And we've been hitting mitts, but he's been using gloves. The dragon breather, can you hear my dog back there? It's crazy. But so he's hitting left hooks. Homie, I'm trying to make a video. Don't mind me, all right? So he's hitting the left hooks. He's throwing his left hooks are really great. He's throwing it with power. Then I throw my right hands. Boom, boom, boom. So we're doing just 5 sets of 5. Taking like a break. So 1, 2, 3. Okay. So I hit my rights. Back to his lefts. On the second set, we just getting started on this mitt work. 1, 2. And I kind of feel him like squint. Like I feel him like crouch down. On the third one, he really soaks it in. Whang! And then like once he pulls it back to hit another one, I can kind of see him like he stands back up and he like taps it. And he did so on the third one, whang! And then 4, 5. And then like he steps back, he shake, like I see him like shake out his hands. And I see it, his knuckles are all red and he's shaking at his wrist. I was like, what's wrong, bro? He's like, dude, this is hard. I was like, what? He's like, yeah, my knuckles are like kind of hurting. And my wrist is like, he was like, he bent his wrist like this. He's like, my wrist is getting kind of sore. I was like, okay, hold up the mitt so I can hit my set. And I was cranking it. Bang, 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 bang. And he was like, we kind of stopped. And he was like, dude, like, it hurts. And I looked at him. I was like, this is my homie, so I was kind of like, bro, what the fuck? He's like, yeah, man. And I was like, geez. But then, we kind of finished off the set. I told him, you know what, just tap it, all right? Right now, it's not, you didn't do any damage to it, all right? Because I could see it. Just kind of tap it in. We got to condition it. He's like, okay. So he's like pushing through. And like I said, like, I've been through many things with him as my teammate, as me being your fitness coach, dude. This guy was like, when he came back to me to the fitness gym, he really got like, just normal life got to him, okay? He got overweight and he was just trying to get back into it. Just from off the streets, eating like shit. I think the first day he came back, dude, I was making him do stupid stuff, like crazy amounts of burpees, all kind of like odd object lifting, thrusters, all kind of stuff. So like, I know what he can handle. So he was just pushing through. We switched off. Then he was like, okay, I want to see what happens when I do the left hook. Because when I'm doing straights, it's basically just a straight whoop, whoop. So when it was my turn to hit the hook, he was like, how you want me to hold it? I was like, dude, hold it however you want to hold it. Because he was understanding that, now that it's bare-knuckled, the angle at which I hold the mitt really makes a difference. Unlike with gloves, you can kind of like, you can get away with like, if I hit it at an angle or hit it this way. No, now it's bare-handed. So like, if I hold it like this or I hold it like this, that makes a big difference. I told him, hold it however you want to hold it. Some shots I was landing like this. Some I was like, I would turn it, but I would still be like this just because he's a little taller. So like, he's kind of trying to adjust to me. And while he's adjusting, like, dude, my fist is going this way, that way. Didn't matter. I was still digging those shots. Wang, wang. And he kind of was like, he kind of was like, he wants to know, like, he's always trying to like overcome something, especially with me. Like, he always just wants to keep up with me, and that's good. Like, when we take these breaks away from each other, I try to always propel myself farther than what I try to take my clients to. You know what I mean? Like, I'm the one guiding them, so I gotta be levels above them. I'm not just gonna let them do bare knuckle training if I haven't done it for at least 2 years. You know what I'm saying? So he was like, dude, and I was like, now you kind of understanding now that to really soak it in, dude. This is not even like in competition, like just on the street. Yeah, you can get away with just having a little fight here and there and not having any training on the bare knuckle stuff. But if you're gonna do this often, or if you really want to have that confidence in yourself, knowing that if you do get in a scuffle and you do gotta crack someone extremely good to kind of just neutralize the situation, you gotta be training these kind of stuff. You can't just like be hitting bag with 16-ounce gloves and just thinking like, if you're at the club, you're not supposed to be at the club when you're a warrior, okay? But just in case you're on the street, and you can't have this thinking like, I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do. No, if you don't train bare knuckle wise, like, you're taking a chance. And he found out from this mitt work, okay? Now, of course, he's fought on the street, and like, people, this kind of thing this is more for you as a martial artist, okay? Like, in the end, a martial artist, he doesn't use his weapons to hurt or to kill or to insinuate pain just out of enjoyment, okay? A lot of it is just his tools. When it's there, it's there. He's extremely confident, and that's what the martial arts is. It's just to be confident within yourself. You know what I mean? It's like, it's a pride thing, As a man, that's what it is. If you are a black belt in Kyokushin karate, you have some type of pride. If you're a black belt in jiu-jitsu, you're going to have some type of pride. If you're a world heavyweight boxer, you're going to have some type of pride. That's what it is, okay? As guys, that we need stuff like this. Accept it. So, same thing with this bare knuckle training. I have this confidence. Understand, all of my martial arts, the shadow boxing you see, everything I do is for me to be a better human being. When I'm not confident in myself, my interactions, everything, I mean, you watch that one video where it says fat and depressed to fit and rip. When you're not secure with yourself, and this is a warrior's karma, dude. I'll make a video on this. The warrior's biggest karma is just not being at peace with himself. When he's not at peace with himself, he has insecurities. He's not confident in his skills. He's not confident in the way he looks. It comes down on everything. Okay? It ruins interactions. The interactions are not as heightened and open as they should be because you're insecure. Okay? So this is what the Iron Fist training does for me. It gives me confidence. Like, I can talk to anybody, anytime, anywhere. It is what it is, dude. Like, I'll be happy and open to everyone because in the dark, when I'm by myself, I'm doing this crazy shit. And just in case a conversation goes south and it has to be pulled, he pulls a gun, whatever, and there is no distance for me to avoid it. Man! That's what it is, okay? So he came to understand that, damn, Ches is on a different level now with it. And, you know, we started talking. And I told him, you know, when you want that confidence, you got to build these things up to really flush it in a dude. Bare-knuckled. You got to train it. And it's intentions. You got to really focus on it, okay? So this way, he kind of was playing with it. Like, he could see, like, he would hold it this way, that way. Dude, any way you want to hold it. We did uppercuts after. Any way, this way, that way. My wrist and my fist have been strengthened because I've been training it, all right? Now, when it came to the power, because his knuckles and his wrists couldn't handle it, the left hook went out first. Because the left hook, like I said, when you're holding it and hitting left hooks, bare-knuckled on a mitt, it's not like a boxing glove. So you may land like this. You may hook like this. And if I cup it a certain way, everything is going to be adjusted. And from there, the other hand was getting worn down. And because his knuckles were starting to get sore, because they're still infant, and his wrists started to bend in different ways, the power was gone. And I was still just now, and just, you know, my power wasn't hindered. And he came to understand that to have this power, this is a tool. When you want to build punching power, like all of these plyometrics with the legs, this and that, that's like secondary. This is what's going to land on the person. So this is the first thing that you need to train. Knockout power, duh, you use your fist. So this is the first thing that dude, you're generating power from your legs and your hips. These are like the areas with the biggest and the strongest muscles. Dude, people can squat like thousands of pounds with leg muscles, hip muscles, okay? Now you're trying to generate power from the floor. Calf raises, dude, do you see guys doing calf raises with weights, calves, legs, hamstrings, hips, abdominals? These are all strong. When you're generating that power from the floor, you're moving that chi from the ground, your ki, all the way up your abs, out your shoulders, and to this little thing. This little thing has to be able to handle all of that energy. On top of all of that energy from the legs and the hips and the glutes, from your shoulders, out your arms, from your forearms to your fists, dude, it has to be able to absorb that contact with that power you're giving it. So this, you got to train. Now, my secret is this, okay? Some of you seen this. Old school boxing glove, Everlast. They don't make stuff like this. They got newer gloves. What I'm going to show you is the mechanics of the old school glove and why I still wear this, okay? It's super thin. Look how thin it is. This is an oven mitt, basically, okay? So when I put it on, there's an iron bar here. This iron bar is meant to align the knuckles, okay? This is for, like, beginners. This iron bar, when you close your hand, it aligns your knuckles. You see how it's flat? So none of the knuckles, you see how this is not flat. It kind of comes down, this knuckle sticks up, okay? But when I have the iron bar, everything kind of like pops up to where it's aligned. So that's why that iron bar is there. Now, you got this elastic band. A lot of new gloves have a wrap like this, okay? So when you hit hooks, you see how I'm hitting it? Like if I hit a hook this way, everything is still being supported. Okay, especially with those thicker bands. Now you see with this band, you see how it's elastic and it pops out. You see how much flexion I have in my wrists. This is what it's made for. When you crash on a bag, you see how it opens up like this? So when I have wrist support, it barely goes anywhere, okay? With these old school gloves, you really got to pay attention. The only guys now, I think, is like Fairtex and Twins. They got bag gloves. They're kind of a little thicker and they have this opening. Find that. Don't find the hook. When you're trying to train bare knuckle with thin gloves, find the elastic. So when you hit, you see how it opens up? This will really crash your arm in. And this is what you need. These little muscles right here need to become stronger. So that way when it crashes like this, when you course correct and you push everything into it, your wrist can pop it out against resistance. A lot of times you want to just be able to land and keep everything stiff on your own accord. Okay? So when upon impact, I like to close it. And right there, you see how everything, you see those little forearm muscles are popping out? It's because those are trained. Now, when I land like this and I really want to pump it in, my wrists were kind of course corrected. And my forearms right here now, that little thing right there, that cord, it's strong enough to push it up because I've been training it. Even when I hit this way, I can wham, wham. But still, if I land it like this, I'll still dig it in. All right. Now, especially when you're hitting bare knuckle, you see how it's kind of worn out over here. When I throw the right hand, I like to twist it. Even with a jab, you twist. When you want to connect on the face, on the chin, this knuckle right here, how it's big, when you twist it, this is the tippest tip of the spear. Just like in Lethwei and Muay Thai, they teach you to hit with the tippest point of your elbow and your knee because that's what gives the cuts. I'm not trying to flush you in and give you a black eye. I'm trying to lacerate your face. This knuckle that's growing because of all the bare knuckle training. When I twist it, whoom, that's what it's meant for. You know, when you twist your wrist to get in the guard, and once I contact your skin, I twist it, and I can lacerate your face. This is how nuts everything is getting, okay? I'm getting kind of violent here. I don't want to insinuate or promote violence. This is just what it is. You know, a lot of this information was from, you got guys who did catch as, catch can. Oh, not. Americans were crazy, okay? Back in like the 1700s, whatever, they used to have boxing contests, and it used to be, I forgot what it was called. Rough and tumble fighters. They would like fight in the alleyways of bars. Back when there was only like ships, not even cars, like horse and buggies. Rough and tumble. There was eye gouging. There was everything. And to be a rough and tumble fighter, you had to know these things. You know, you had to really condition the knuckles to cut a guy open. But in this day and age, we're getting a little weaker, so we gotta get gloves like this. But this will really strengthen things out. With these bare knuckle gloves or these thinner gloves, you gotta learn to pop your thumb in. Okay, so when you're hitting, I keep it right under there, and with this glove, so you catch and parry with your hand open, boom. If you hit and you think it's a boxing glove and you leave your thumb too exposed, dude, this thing is gonna crack in. So you gotta learn to tuck that thumb in. See that? The thumb is tucked in. So when I hook, anyway, which way? I could catch it this way. Because my thumb is tucked in, I can use this knuckle on my thumb to just poke you in the eye. Okay? So this is one alternative. Like I said, you gotta find this elastic band. Because this elastic band, again, I will show you, it's meant to open out. If you do hit it wrongly, this elastic band gives it the space to develop your forearm muscles. Think about it like this. Like I said, I own the fitness gym. I want it to be strong. My mentor, I said a story about him. He slapped one of these dummies, that boxing dummy, and I seen the thing go fly. He was strong. A lot of odd object lifting. He taught me that, dude, when you lift weights, don't wear a lifting belt. The lifting belt it aids your body in keeping everything tight. So it's like, why would you use your ab muscles? Why would you try to contract your back muscles even more when there's a belt to support it? And I was like, oh. He's like, dude, you want to know why my back is so strong? He wouldn't even lift weights. He would like lift rocks and like flip tires. Dude, he would do a lot of odd object lifting. So his body was contorted. He was strong in very weird contorted angles. And he was like, don't lift with a belt. Like all these ancient warriors, they never had lifting belts. That's why they were strong. And, you know, I seen some guys like, you know, they do a lot of deadlifting or deadlifting belts. But when we start to do like farmer's carry, we put a guy on our back and we start walking around like rucking up the hill. Oh, my back hurts. Oh, because the back is not strong. Because they've babied it with a weight belt. Now you're going to have to go down in weights, okay? When you start, if you do any deadlifting, lifting with a belt, go down in weights first and let all the abdominal muscles catch up. You're going to find that your abs are weak and your lower back is weak because you've been using a back brace. I'm not trying to injure you, but this is just what it is, dude. Your ancestors never had wrist wraps, gloves, weight belts. Dude, they just trained in the forest or in the rainforest, wherever you originated from, hunted wild game, grow their food, and banged it out, dude. Okay? Now, my next favorite setup, I like to use this gel wrap. It's very easy, okay? This one has a longer, so with this, I just like to wrap it just a few times. This is not like a crazy wrap. As you can see, I try to wrap it to where you see how there's like a good 360 motion. Now, look at the thickness of that. This one is a little thick. If you're a beginner, if you're just starting out on this bare knuckle journey, like I said, dude, if you just go to the gym and you start whacking out the heavy bag with that little glove, your knuckles, you're going to be out of commission, all right? So, this is like one of those easy wraps, the gel wraps. There's a little padding in there. And what I like to do is take these industrial, I did a lot of side labor construction work, so I've discovered these gloves, done a lot of demolition on houses, salons, worked on ships with these kind of gloves. These gloves, this is merely to protect your knuckles and fingers, okay? So I'll put this on first. As you can see, I like these because they're not so constricted. Once I lock this up, it's just like almost like a wrap, like a hand wrap, but look, I'll keep it kind of loose. So there's still, I can still like kind of cock it at 90 degrees, okay? I'll put this glove on. All right. And there you go. This is what I like to hit the heavy bag with. Some of the videos you're seeing, this is my new favorite setup. This, if you're kind of more advanced or your bags are a little harder at the place you train at, you can use this setup. This one is really good, really comfortable. But as you can see, you see that knuckle? It's just pointing out, dude. So same thing, like what I just taught you. When you turn the fist upon impact, once you start getting stronger at this, you can start feeling that knuckle digging in. And when I landed on the bag, I can twist it right on an instant. And me twisting my knuckles like this on the bag on instant, this glove helps to not rip it straight open. Because I've done it a couple times where I kind of just put tape on my wrist, like a really thin piece of tape on my wrist that kind of gives some kind of support. And bare knuckled wise, on these leather bags, once I start twisting it out, especially with this right straight, dude, everything is just cut wide open. All the knuckles. So right now, this is my favorite setup. As you can see, it's a little dirty. So this is my right hand. As you can see, sometimes when the bag is moving around, you see how these parts are dirty? When I'm sometimes I'll clip it this way and the bag will just kind of spin, you know, when I'm shuffling in my combos. So I'll be hitting with the other parts of my fists, okay? Now, same thing. I like these gloves because it's almost just like if you're fighting barehanded on the street. When I block, I got to keep everything here, 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 here. All right? And when I hit the hooks, everything else is exposed. You see how my thumb is like that? I got to make sure when I land. Now you see how my thumb is tucked in? So from here, boom, boom, bang. You see how I brought it back? You see where the thumb is? This is just excess right there. The thumb is tucked in. It's been trained to be that way, okay? This right here, the bread and butter. You see how stiff that is? Wang, wang. These. Now, you, martial artist, warrior, once you start getting comfortable with these, you have to be nicer to people. Because these, like I said, you know, when you spar with 16-ounce gloves, and you nail a guy, you feel it instantly. You know, you and him, you guys kind of laugh at each other, chuckle. Yeah, I got you. You know, when I was sparring and fighting MMA, when you use those 4-ounce gloves, you crack, dude. It's a different feeling because the gloves are much thinner, okay? You kind of like, wow. And, you know, because the gloves are thinner, like I said, it's not boxing gloves. So a little slight turn like this, dude, it can go through anything. You see how I'm holding up my guard? That's why I got to keep a center guard like this. I kind of keep everything like this. So even if it does come in, just a slight can kind of misdirect the whole punch. With boxing gloves, I can kind of keep it like right here and just open and everything kind of gets blocked. You know what I'm saying? But now, bare knuckle wise, when you catch a dude with this, after all the training, it's a different kind of feeling. It makes you value life more. You know what I mean? Like, and me knowing, cause like some dudes, like, you know, I'm at a public gym, they see me cracking these bags just with this, like cracking it, and it's to the point where like I can see the imprint on the bag. I was showing my friend after we were done hitting mitts, even though he was still kind of tapping it, he still was giving his best, but it wasn't 100% because his hands are sore. I showed him the mitt. I was like, dude, these are your knuckles. And he was like, damn. And I was like, just imagine, like, we get it to the point where your knuckles are strong enough and you're comfortable whacking and whacking. If a guy ducks his head down like this, you can just crack him straight in the forehead. Dude, it's dangerous. It's dangerous. And it makes you, you know, if I'm giving you this, okay? Like I said, this is for confidence, for the martial artist, for you to know. Now that I've given you this, the setup to help build up your knuckles, now I gotta just think that everybody is walking around watching this video and they're doing it. Now there has to be a line of respect because I don't know who's watching my videos. You know what I mean? So this is the other part about being a martial artist. You know, on top of everything, the Iron Fist training, you know, I got all of these techniques, one from my experiences and two from Masoyama, Kyokushin karate, God hand. Dude, they called him God hand. Like, he chopped the horn off of a bull. And, you know, he would show his fist sometimes. Dude, the thing was like, it was conditioned. And he did a 300-man. His black belt test was a 300-man kumite. Basically, he just fought 300 men over the course of 3 days. One after the other, after the other, after the other. They said during his kumite, the normal for the top elite level students were 100 men. For his, I guess he did 100 each day, but his kumite, he didn't stop. Like, you don't stop. And like, he could do 300. He could round that number because of his iron fist. He could stop guys. Like, they said, if you, there's a saying, not a saying, but I would say a myth, so to say. If he caught you with one punch, you were done. If you tried to block his punch, he would break your arm. Like, that's how strong and powerful it was. And once you start understanding, like I explained to you, you're flowing the ki, the chi, the life force energy from the ground, through your calves, up your quads, from your glutes, up your abs, through your chest, from your traps. Your traps are a big muscle, okay? From your traps, your shoulders, your biceps, to your forearms, all of that energy straight into here, and you launch it. And this thing is like a metal hammer. Dude, things will be stopped, okay? And like, there was a dude at the park. We were at the park outdoors. I like to train outdoors, and kind of bigger guy. This is what I hate about being a fighter. It's like, of course, you know, when I fought in the cage, I gotta size everybody up. Like everybody's gonna be cool. You know, we're all cool at the weigh-ins, but eventually we're all gonna fight each other. So while I'm there, we're all just sharking on each other. We're saying what's up. We know what gym you're from. We kind of, oh, who you fighting? Oh, okay, we're looking at the roster, whatever. But we're all just sharking on each other. So till this day, like I said, like when you're insecure, the sharking just gets way more crazier. But now that I'm just like, I know what I have and everything is up to standard to what I know that I can be confident in. I don't have to shark too much, but there was a kind of bigger guy. My friend kind of saw him, peeped him out. And nice guy, you know, he was with his family. You know, and I was just like, imagine he was a bigger set guy, like thicker, nice big traps, like you know he's lifting weights, big traps, big neck, kind of shaved head. He had a big head. I was like, imagine if he ducks down, and like you go to shoot him straight between the eyes, dude, with his neck, like he's gonna come forward, and he was like a good like 230, and we're only like 150 at the most, dude. If this fist runs into that fucking football helmet of his, this thing is gonna break. Okay, so with this iron fist training, dude, you focus a lot on it. Masoyama dug it in. When you focus all of your energy in onto these little things, these things become crazy, crazy weapons. But to make them crazy weapons, you gotta earn it, dude. You cannot just walk off the street and think you're gonna get this iron fist. Now, the setups I just showed you with the gloves, the wraps, do just a normal hit in the heavy bag, you'll see that you're gonna have to adjust your punches because of the way you're landing on things, and you're gonna have to train it, dude. Train it. This little lump. In one of my TikTok videos, dude, the two was huge. Right now they're settled in. Like they're like, this is like healed, and it grew a lot. These knuckles were actually all kind of leveled. This one kind of did point out a little more, but when you see it like this, they kind of look. You see how big that thing is? This thing just kind of just grew, and it's a weapon now. And like I go around to kind of multiple UFC gyms, and they all got different feel bags, and I always try to find the heaviest one, and I just drive it in. Wow! And you see the workouts I put, it's like 4 10-minute rounds. 4 10-minute rounds, just dig, whang, whang. And these things can hold up. And, you know, as a martial artist, this is one of the tools that you're just going to need. And it'll bring you confidence. But as I said, once you strengthen these, you're going to have to be a bit nicer. You see people like acting crazy on the street, you're going to have to just, you know, only use these things for good. And for you, the martial artist coming up, I know you want some confidence. You want to feel some strength. You want to feel some of this inner spirit manifest itself onto your skin, out of your fist, into this bag. Iron fist training. Start doing things a little bit harder. Stop trying to look for the next training program. Dude, push-ups, squats, sit-ups. Find you a good heavy bag. If you can't find a good heavy bag, dude, shadow box outside. I'll give you one more. This is a longer video. I did Kempo in high school, and I already had my good hands. You guys see the shadow boxing. My hands were already good, so they kind of recognized that, and they incorporate kicks. And this Kempo is like street oriented, dude. I know how to take away guns, disarm people. Like this Kempo was everything. Self-defense, like you hold the rubber gun, and like they had different methods. It wasn't like grab the gun and all this fancy stuff. Like if you gotta use the iron fist, you drive it home. And for warm-ups, what we would do is we would sit on the ground, Indian style, in this gymnasium, cafeteria, and the ground is concrete. And you just boom, 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 boom. For like 10 minutes, you just, boom. They would say, work the back 2 knuckles, boom, boom. Work the front knuckles, open palm it. To strengthen the hands, you just whack it against the cement. Dude, as a martial artist, this is your job. To just become this weapon of protection. And, you know, that's another way. But just stick with what I just showed you. The setups with the gloves, the wraps, and start banging away on the heavy bag. Start building it up. Do that kind of training. This is for life already. I'm never going to deter from this. For you, it may take 2 to 3 months of just solid. When you get home, ice your hands. For me, one of my secrets is I've taken cold showers, dude, for like 5 years straight. Every day. Even when I go on vacation to a hotel, that's the best ones because I like to test their cold water. Some of these hotels, you put it on cold. It is cold. But cold showers every day. I made a TikTok about it. They were like, oh, it's bad to take a cold showers before you sleep. Dude, if you train extremely hard in the evening, right after that, you go home. You eat a good meal like steak with some potatoes or like rice, okay? By the time you jump in the shower, that cold shower is going to be so refreshing. And just remember now, like if you're doing it correctly, morning training, evening training, you're exhausted. After a big, good meal, you jump in the cold shower, the thing just cools me down. By the time I get into bed, dude, my endorphins are not messed up at all. I go straight to sleep like a rock. Wake up early. Oh, look, cold showers every night for the past 6 to 7 years. Didn't mess me up at all. It made me stronger, if anything. All right? So, keep it basic. Hit the bag 3 to 6 months. With this bare knuckle setup, really just, if you gotta tap it, tap it. Ice your hands, cold showers. Do it all again the next day. That's all it is. And always, always, always remember, martial artist, modern day warrior, train hard. If you're just bored and you're like thinking about doing stupid shit, get to training. As a man with all of this aggression, this is the only thing you can do. Build yourself so you can be something for others, okay? So train hard and always be kind. Until next time, let's go.